Hi, I'm Anna, and today I will take you to a very dark place. You are standing in a pitch black place. It's called the Cave of Rage. And this place, you will be very surprised, is located in your brain. Everyone who is on the way to get angry is doomed to be in the cave. And it's brutal in there. You're feeling an inner restlessness, and it's so hot. And you have difficulties in breathing. And your eyes are wide open, and still you cannot see a thing. Not yet. Without the sense of sight, the sense of hearing is enhanced, and you can hear your heartbeat, your heavy breathing, and the noises. Is there anyone? And suddenly a flicker of dark red lightens up on the ground. Just one, then more. Slowly it starts to crack. And then a new unfamiliar noise. Bubbling sound. It's getting hotter. And your chest tries to open up wider, and something is changing. Your energy level and blood pressure are increasing rapidly. Adrenaline is rushing through your veins, and resentment sweeps through your body. And then you snap. You explode like an erupting volcano, letting rage take overhand, screaming from the deepest of yourself. Now, one of the problems with its own cave is the others can't see if you are standing in it or not. Only you being in there knows it. And that's when you become a sleeping volcano. And when you cannot bear it anymore, boom. And everyone standing next to you thinks, oh my God, getting angry because of a trifle, meaning a little thingy. They don't know that you were in the uncomfortable, hot, steaming cave in your brain for too long without mentioning it. That's a terrible, creeping, destructive process, with the explosion coming as a big surprise. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode with me, Anna Jelen The Time Expert. Someone who looks at life and topics with the perspective of time. And someone who is deeply touched by the latest happenings with the ongoing riots. Now, I have to tell you, there is something that worries me. And it was already visible during the corona times, and it looks like an ongoing process, and even more noticeable with the latest hashtag Black Lives Matter happenings in the USA. I'm talking about angry people. I see them, I hear them, I feel them. How about you? Do you see them as well? Or maybe, are you angry right now? Now, with this episode, I would like to devote myself to the topic of anger and rage, with the perspective of time and with a little side anecdote from my psyche. Some people say that anger is an engine to create a better place afterwards. I don't want to believe that. Now let's look at some facts. Anger is an emotion. It shows up, it is a natural and inevitable response to frustration or stress. On a non-harming anger level, you could even say that it is an emotion as any others and must be taken seriously. Morally speaking, it is even okay to have angry thoughts, but it is not okay with angry actions. And that's when the limit has been crossed. When anger takes over control, now it becomes dangerous because anger in action is often projected onto others. And that's when we start a new loop of rage and violence. Now we are talking about time. A loop is an endless duration of time because it has no end. Meaning, rage and violence are like the worst time killers. It's an ongoing process. And if we look at collective anger in a loop, this would mean war forever, racism forever. If a group of angry people rests in this place of anger, it will never stop. They have no conscience what impact rage and violence has on time. And it will go on forever if we project anger to others. It's infectious, and we all know this. But it seems as there are still quite a few people out there which haven't spent some time in an anger management course. Now look on the individual side. Thinking in time terms, who do you think is less aggressive from past-oriented, present-oriented and future-oriented people? Exactly. The highly future-oriented people tend to be less aggressive. They have the ability to consider future consequences. And if you are highly present-orientated, you tend to be even more aggressive because you don't think of the consequences. You forget that you are maybe in this instant creating something that you will regret in the future for the rest of your life. Being in anger, you forget that someone might be around to have to cope with trauma for a long time. Another ugly regret. And many prisoners have told me that. But the fact is also, no matter which time-oriented person you are, being in anger, we lose the notion of time. Sounds nice, but not in this case. And still thinking in terms of time, it's interesting to look at the process of anger and the consequences with a very banal example. You have bought a keyboard for your laptop from a private guy. You get the keyboard, you are happy, but then you see it does not work correctly. Now you're angry. And you tell the guy it does not work. But of course, the guy says that it worked when he used it. Now here comes the thing. If you don't manage your anger towards this guy, towards the keyboard, you will rest in the loop. And this means you will get very resentful. You don't forget. Whenever thinking of this guy, you feel anger coming back. On the long term, you will get a very frustrated, stubborn person because over time, several such examples have accumulated. Several bubbles of resentfulness. Long-term anger will make your cave of rage grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And in my eyes, a waste of time and a waste of energy and very bad for your health. So what is one of the solutions to let the case and anger go? To forgive or to accept. Forgiveness brings peace. It's for sure not always easy to forgive, but with professional help there is a chance to get there. And I believe it's the most useful way out for everyone. After all this said, it's time to confess something. Normally, I write about topics which I have worked with or about issues in which I have knowing. I need to feel secure to write about it. But this time, this is not the case. I have no freaking idea what rage means and how it feels. Welcome to my psyche, and let's travel back some years to recapitulate the first scene I want to explain. I must have been around 11 or 12 years old when I saw a movie scene happening in the kitchen. A couple screaming at each other. The wife gets so angry that she starts to smash all the porcelain tableware in the kitchen. And I was watching the scene in awe and remember thinking, wow, one day I will be breaking porcelain tableware on the floor. Many years later, I had the first big dispute with a boyfriend, and I remember thinking, the moment has arrived. I will smash some damn porcelain. But the fact is that I was just sitting there, sad, maybe a bit angry, disappointed, but not mad. Not mad enough to smash anything. The second scene, many years later, just in short, one day I was beaten up very severely. I would say reason enough to be angry, but I wasn't. I instead felt sorry for the guy who did not dare to show who he was and who had to hide behind a freaking clown outfit, and that he had to express his anger with violence. But no, I was never angry. And last, there have been several people in my life telling me to learn to show anger and how to have a good verbal fight. I thought it was time to talk to a specialist, and I looked for an excellent overall time-consuming psychology test, having the chance that the guy was also very interested in philosophy. I will never forget the first phrase of the summary of my analysis. High level of apatheia, the kind of calm equanimity that comes with the absence of irrational or extreme emotions, also refers to a state of mind in which one is not disturbed by the passions. Makes me think of a dead fish. With other words, I don't know how anger feels. So you see, I have no right to implement my thoughts on anger, and please excuse my one-time shot of writing about something I cannot speak about because I have no experience in it. But still, I don't like rage when I see it in other people. It's too extreme for me. It's too uncontrollable. It's a self-destructive emotion. And the worst of it all, it's unpredictable. Ooh. Are there solutions? Well, I don't know. But I have questions I would like to share with you, and you just answer them for yourself. I know it is possible to control emotions. It's called emotional regulation. Do you think it's possible to control anger? Seneca, one of my favorite philosophers, said we shouldn't control anger, but destroy it entirely. For what control is there for a thing that's fundamentally wicked? 2. What about getting reason, mind and heart on board whenever anger shows up? Let reason take some space so that anger wouldn't be the only one taking control, don't you think? I'm almost sure that putting the focus on solving the problem would be more useful rather than reacting to it. That would surely make a difference. Could that be something to tell oneself when getting angry? Okay, stop, focus on the solution. To have an important purpose in life makes anger stay away. Meaning, you don't want to waste time being angry because there is something else in your life which is so much more exciting and essential, which makes you forget your anger. Could that be something? And last but not least, as already mentioned earlier, Learn to forgive. It's hard for the ego, but if you take the view of the eagle and look at your life from a distance, it's the best solution for yourself to be able to move on and not to waste too many years of your life by staying in this lousy emotion. I know it's probably too much to ask for, but maybe there is someone out there who is okay to try this. The next time you're angry, think of me, standing next to you, whispering into your ear, stop, time out, take a break, let's go for a walk and let's talk about what kind of moment you are creating right now, influencing your present and your future and maybe the past of others. Come on, let's go and let's stroll through nature. You want a beer? Okay, this will calm you down, but just one. And afterwards, you'll do what you decide is right, whatever it is. Because usually, with distance, anger will pass, reason comes back, and you decide who takes the steering wheel. Now let's end this episode with some thoughts. Did you experience a moment this week where you almost felt guilty not shouting out to the injustice happening in the world? Because that is what we learn, isn't it? It is to stand up for oneself, to fight for your rights. But what if you don't want to fight? What if you don't want to go out and scream at others? Don't feel guilty. You handle it differently, like I do. And we need people like you as well. Everyone handles it differently. It's like anger. Some people become really angry and go out on the street and they make some noise. Others become more quiet, thoughtful, and listen. Others you might not even see, but they're already working on solutions. And that's the whole point. We need all of them. Be an example either way. Now the good thing behind all this, people are awakening, questioning systems and concepts and taking responsibility. Now let's hope that the majority will learn and grow from it and create good ideas and solutions. Let's manage the present for a better future. My dear listener out there, I hope I was thought-provoking enough. And now, do you know what I wish you? To get out of the cave if you are in there and do your soul something good today. And then you might close your eyes and just be thankful to experience this life with everything it brings us. Yeah, there is anger, there is sadness, there is happiness, there is injustice, there is love, there is adventure. It's all in, and that's how it is. Life. Now take good care. It's crazy out there at the moment. And bye-bye, and until next week. And by the way, if I'm trying to imagine myself very angry, very, very, very angry, I think I would like to be angry with a touch of love. Yeah, that's modulated anger a la Anna. And another, by the way, talking about the members club, yes, the countdown is on. Bye.